Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Miss Tally and Miss Hosseini, for giving me the opportunity to share some of my experiences in regards to building bridges to oneness. And thank you also to the organizers for putting together such a beautiful conference. When I was in middle school, my friends and I, with the help of some parents, held biweekly gatherings at my home to talk about what justice meant to us, and to watch and discuss social and environmental related documentaries and to engage in community service. When I started high school, I wanted to offer a similar experience to the incoming middle schoolers. With the support of our middle school principal and our art teacher, a couple of my friends and I started a social justice club for middle school students as an after school program. We started with only 10 participants, most of whom were sixth graders. When the pandemic hit, we had to move to the in person meetings to Zoom. This gave us the opportunity to significantly expand the reach of our conversations. As more participants started joining our conversations, some of the middle schooler participants also started helping facilitate the sessions. In the summer of that year, high school and middle school members of our Social Justice Club offered a week-long social justice summer camp to 60 children from around the U.S. Currently, 3 years after we started the first Social Justice Club for junior youth at our school, we have 50 youth attending bi-weekly online conversations on the meaning of dignity, how racism is an obstacle towards the experience of oneness, and why sacrifice and humility are needed to build unity, among other themes. Participants have been joining from Brazil, Peru, Mexico, France, Turkey, Macau, Uganda, and the US. The youth have been taking turns preparing and leading the conversations. Our club has also been engaging in hands-on art projects and fundraisers. With the resulting funds throughout the last couple of years, we have been able to help 80 Congolese families in Kansas City during the pandemic, 50 families of garbage collectors in Brazil, and a local women's shelter. We have also purchased laptops for children and youth in Jinja, Uganda to pursue their education. The Congolese population in Kansas City has been hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. Not only have they been disproportionately affected by the factory closures, but they also have a high incidence of infections by the virus. In early April 2020, a meeting was held with several of the local Congolese community leaders. During that meeting, it became clear that the refugee population was in desperate need of face masks. The club raised funds to purchase enough material for 500 masks. We paid 3 tailors in the Congolese community to sew the masks. Beyond providing the needed masks, this experience taught the students and many of the parents about the needs of others and the skills and resources that can be tapped in the community itself, and most importantly, our independence. Most recently, a group of youth from Jinja, Uganda want to join the bi-weekly Social Justice Club conversations on Zoom. However, they didn't have computers and internet access. Through funds raised by the selling of youth's artwork on our Facebook page, Just Art, the youth in Jinja were able to purchase 5 laptops and pay for a year of internet connection. The mayor of the town provided a nice space in the city hall for the social justice gatherings, and with every session, the number of participants in our conversations keeps growing. Last week, the youth from Uganda facilitated a reflection on climate change for the whole group and asked us to share how we each were being affected by it in our communities. The youth's lead teacher in Ujinja, Tony, has a degree in IT and has been wanting to teach computer classes to the youth in his community and nearby towns. With the purchase of the laptops, besides attending the Social Justice Club bi-weekly conversations, Tony and his team have also started offering IT classes to youth in the nearby towns of Nakis, Bikizi, and Bukaya, and to young mothers in the evenings. The Social Justice Club is now partnering with the Africa Club at our school to continue to raise funds for this community. I attend a mainly white private school where I'm only the only Latino, Middle Eastern, and Baha'i student in my grade. In an attempt to emphasize our similarities, it seems that we overlook the value of exploring our differences. I decided to approach the middle school principal to offer younger kids a club that would enhance their appreciation of diversity and help them welcome and embrace it. Since the beginning of the club, my friends and I have been training the middle schoolers to design and teach lessons on social and environmental justice. Some of these junior youth have been actively engaged for the past couple of years and are already helping lead their 3rd or 4th group of students. When my friends and I graduate from high school, we will have well-trained students who will continue the program. I am lucky to have friends at school who come from different countries and traditions, It has been extremely rewarding to learn firsthand about African countries' cultures, about Islam, how my friends relate to their parents, and how they pray. I started the Social Justice Club for middle schoolers to help youth experience how fulfilling it is to learn about other people and their ways of life. I wanted them to not only passively accept our differences, but also value and find purpose in the diversity that exists in our community and schools. Beyond being personally rewarding, openness to diversity is also an effective way to advance racial equity and justice. Visiting a local center for children in poverty, we learned that the greatest obstacle for people to get involved in their community is a lack of understanding of others' different experiences and backgrounds. The nun who runs the center told us the most effective way of addressing our community's inequities is to bring mothers from different races, cultures, and socioeconomic classes together to know each other and build friendships. What I am trying to change in my school is how we approach diversity. I want youth to be eager to learn about people that are different from them and to understand the social impact of this change in their personal attitude. I was in ninth grade when George Floyd was murdered and protests erupted here in Kansas City. As in other cities across our country, at that time, I was already running the Social Justice Club and we were talking about equality, human dignity, and oneness. Still, I had not experienced a collective mobilization and struggle for justice firsthand. Being continuously updated on these events through social media, I wanted to join the protests and invited a few friends to come with me. I didn't know what else we could do besides carry a cooler with cold drinks to refresh the protesters. Throughout that afternoon, as I was surrounded by people of all colors, young and old, united around a common cause, I realized that attending a protest was more than sharing water and holding signs. It was about the power of many, the power of diversity, and the power of unity. After this experience, I felt the urgency of reaching out to youth outside my school. The pandemic, by normalizing virtual meetings and conversation, helped us expand the reach of the Social Justice Club. We were able to not only talk about the intrinsic value of each human being, but also to give witness to each other's dignity by bringing youth of diverse backgrounds together. Children and youth from around the country and from abroad got together for a week in the summer to share their perspectives on racial and social justice. I was proud of our middle school club participants who helped lead these summer sessions, and we were all impressed and humbled with the level of engagement, insight, and sensibility of children as young as 8 who were eager to understand how they could help build a more just society. The challenges I initially faced as I engaged in these activities were my own limitations and insecurities. Otherwise, I have had a lot of support from my teachers, school administration, and my family as I developed the middle school club. Their help paved the way for me to gradually build confidence to speak up, dream bigger, and expand the reach of the Social Justice Club initiatives. At the beginning of this year, our club partnered with high school students in Mexico for weekly conversations. Each group took turns selecting the conversation topic and leading the meetings. We were able to appreciate the wealth of experience each person brought to our discussions on racism, discrimination, environmental crisis, among others. We could also call out the stereotypes that politicians use to label people and create artificial divisions for the lies that they are. In the process, we made lasting friendships. My greatest takeaway from running a social justice club for youth from across the country is that there is a lot of untapped potential for creating a more just and inclusive global society. Youth everywhere are aware of our sameness and that race, nationality, social class are constructs to keep us apart, benefiting some to the detriment of many. Adults are equally eager to help youth come together and be empowered by their shared vision, optimism, and hope for a more just future. We hope that this club inspires other youth to start conversations on social justice with their peers, friends, and family to make use of the technology and human support around them to connect hearts and minds across the world. Thank you so much.